Can you actually lose fat and build muscle at the same time? Short answer, yes. But you're probably doing it wrong if you're like most people. By the end of this video, you will understand the top 4 mistakes people make when trying to do body recomp, the 3 primary tools you need for success, and 3 strategies you can use to get started right now. Hi, Richa and Lucy here from CoachViva.com. For the best advice on how to be a badass body boss for life, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell to be notified of our videos every week. Before we begin, I want to quickly announce that a few spots have opened up for the free one-on-one consult with our badass body boss program. So make sure you stay until the end of this video for the announcement on that. Now let's get started.
A few years ago, I hit my goal weight of 118 pounds, but I still didn't have a flat stomach. Well, when I learned how to do body recomposition correctly, I lost 4.5% body fat and nearly 2 inches off my waist, even though I didn't lose any weight. This is what body recomposition looks like, and I want you to be able to do this too. Here's the first thing people get wrong about body recomposition. It's not actually about losing fat and gaining muscle at literally the exact same time. That false belief leads to unnecessary bickering across the fitness industry and confusion for you too, because then you start freaking out over all sorts of little things that don't actually matter and start asking things like, how do I turn fat into muscle, which is not even a real thing. Simply put, your body is in a constant state of flux. It's in a state of building and storing stuff when you're in a surplus, or breaking and burning stuff when you're in a calorie deficit. The net result of all these back and forth over time results in the change in your body composition. So our goal here is to purposely manage this flux between surplus and deficit so that fat loss and muscle gain over a managed period of time are the end results. How much fat you can lose and how much muscle you can gain in a month or a year depends on how you manage this flux.
Another myth is that you cannot body recomp unless you are a complete beginner to strength training, very overweight, or a genetic freak. What is true is that beginners, very overweight folks, and genetic freaks have a much easier time with body recomp, but that does not mean it's impossible for the rest of us. It's possible, but it will be much slower, which is why most people prefer to do a traditional long bulk and cut cycle versus shorter cycle body recomposition, since you see more visual changes faster and it's easier to stick with mentally.
Here's the third common mistake. You're being too impatient with results and giving up or changing things before the data has even come back to show you whether or not you're making progress. If you want to do a body recomposition protocol that involves cycling calories throughout the week, expect it to be very slow and not to see any visible changes for months at a time. This is especially true for women, since we tend to lose fat and gain muscle much more slowly than men.
Finally, improper tracking and evaluation. Whatever tool you use to track body fat, whether that's a scale or tape measurements, electronic measuring devices, calipers, make sure you always measure at the same spot under the same conditions each time. Things like drinking water or exercising beforehand will affect your measurements. At the end of the day, the trend matters more than the absolute numbers, since all tools will have a good margin of error. Personally, I use a combination of a smart scale and tape measurements and calipers to estimate my body fat first thing in the morning. Do you have a favorite tool to calculate body fat? Comment below and let me know what that is.
Now, the top 3 tools of the trade for effectively managing body recomposition are: first, strength training with progressive overload. That means increasing the intensity of your exercises from workout to workout. If you're not able to increase either the weights or the reps, either you're not lifting correctly, you're not recovering adequately, or you're simply not pushing yourself hard enough. Second, protein. Eat this throughout the day, not just all at once around your workout. Our bodies can't use a ton of protein all at once, and it doesn't store any of the extra either. So you have to keep supplying your body with a steady stream of protein throughout the day. And most importantly, calories. You have 3 main options for what to do about calories. First option is the macro cut and bulk cycle, where you eat in a deficit for about 12 to 16 weeks and then eat in a surplus for another 12 to 16 weeks. This is basically like a traditional cutting and bulking cycle that bodybuilders do. The The pros of this method is that your goal is clear. You're either cutting fat or building muscle in a given length of time. Because you're not working on competing goals within a short time window, you'll see visible changes happening more quickly. The con of this method is that when you're bulking, the scale weight will obviously go up, and you'll likely gain a little bit of fat along with the muscle, especially if trying to do this on your own, and this stuff can really mess with your head. The second option is a mesocycle of cutting and bulking for days within the week. An example of this is to eat more on your training days and less on your off days. Now, the pros of this method is that you're not as likely to accidentally gain fat, and the scale weight should generally not change very much. But the cons of this method is that it requires a lot of patience and planning. Because your body will be shifting gears more frequently, you will see very slow visible changes, sometimes taking several months even. The final option is the micro cut and bulk cycle, aka meal timing. An example of this method is to increase your calorie, protein, and carb intake in the meals around your workout, and then eat way less for the rest of the day. This can be simple to follow, especially for intermittent fasters who prefer to eat only 1 to 2 big meals a day anyway. But visible changes show up even more slowly if you're using this method, and it's not recommended for people who graze.
There's a lot to take in, but you can do it with some trial and error. Most people don't get this exactly right on their first many tries. But if you want to shortcut through all of the trial and error and get tried and proven guidance from Lucy and I, this is exactly the kind of thing we help our clients with. A few spots have opened up for our free one-on-one consult for our Badass Body Boss program. It is very high touch, and so spots are very limited. So if you're serious, go ahead and click on the link in the description below to book a one-on-one consult for our Badass Body Boss program. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button, be sure to subscribe, and share this video with whoever else you feel could use this information. And be sure to check out these 2 videos and to learn more about how to lose fat and gain muscle like a body boss. You can do it.